Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to today's video. Today we're doing a book haul. I went to buy a sequel to a book at Target and they didn't have it, but they did have other books, so I bought them. And then I went to Barnes and they did have it, but then I bought other books too. And then I went on Amazon and Book Outlet. And so we have a lot of books to share. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you're new, subscribe if you want to see how I like all these books. And yeah, I do monthly wrap-ups and TBR jar, the normal booktuber thing. So let's go ahead and get started. I have too many. I'm going to start with the genres I don't have as many of. So we'll start with this one right here. This is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is a horror, I believe, and I've only read one other horror in recent history. I definitely have read some like back in the day, but not like this resurgence of reading. So Safe for the Brink of Death by Mysterious Stranger. So she's basically Dracula's wife, and it's her story, and I believe it's a horror. So she'll have to choose between her own freedom and her love for her husband, but bonds forged by blood can only be broken by death. So no idea. I've heard good things about this. When I saw it at Barnes, I was like, yeah, okay, let's try something a little different. Plus, the words are huge, and it's pretty short. It's not like super long. It's like 380 pages or 280 pages. So I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna give a horror a chance, it's gonna be one that's short and I've heard good things about from people who I watch based on other like genres that I read. So that one. Next, I bought my first Colleen Hoover. Okay, I got this at Walmart, I think. Again, words are really large, which I like. My sister basically convinced me that I need to read this. She's read like lots of the Colleen Hoover books, but I was like, you know, I really don't think they're for me based on like reviews I've heard or like, you know, stuff like that. I don't really know. I'm more of a fantasy sci-fi reader. So, but she said this one is different than the rest. So I got Verity. I can't remember what this is about. I think it's a girl who like loses her memory. Oh, it's a girl who dies and you have to, the girl's like finishing a book series that a like mother had started or something like that. So there's that. I got one historical fiction. This is The Frozen River by Ariel Lawton. I think this is released last year or maybe the year before. I've only heard amazing things about this. Yeah, copyright 2023. One of the prompts that my boyfriend made me is to read a book that takes place in Connecticut or Maine, and I didn't think I had any. I have since realized that I have a couple. I've read one, well, DNF to take place in Connecticut, but this does take place in Maine, and that's where I'm from. Connecticut's where he's from. You get it. But yeah, so I'm definitely excited to read this. I've heard really good things, and yeah, it's Maine 1789. So it's about like it's like a murder mystery type thing. Okay. Next, we have a couple of romances. First one is Expiration Dates. This, I thought this was a new release, but it actually was just a release in paperback. I didn't realize it was already out in hardcover, but it was, yeah, last year it was published, but it's a romance. Expiration Dates. It's about a girl who, every time she starts dating someone, she gets a piece of paper and that says like what day the relationship will end, but she hasn't gotten a piece of paper for this relationship she's in, so it's kind of like that story. I thought it was an interesting concept. I do like romances, but I'm not like totally in love with romances, you know. Next is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I've never read a Emily Henry before. I do have another one. I have one coming in the mail. I believe the paperback releases tomorrow or the 25th. I don't know what day, but it releases, and then I'm getting, because it's paperback and it's the #1 book I believe for April, so I'll definitely be reading it in April. But funny story, that's what that one is. But this one also takes place in Maine. Didn't know that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put this one on my TBR as well, because I want to have more than one option. Because what if I get Nightingale and then I have to pick a Frozen River? You know, I need a little difference in my Maine and Connecticut books. Plus, I like to read books that take place in the state where I was born and raised. So those are romances. Next, we have a couple of sci-fis. So I got both of these off of Amazon, I believe. Dark Matter. I've never read this. It was one I thought about putting on my 25 and 25, but ended up not doing that. I'm not sure why. But there's a show on Apple TV that I want to watch, but I would like to read the book first. It's about a guy who like wakes up in a different life, like a different version of his life, and you know, he's a scientist and somehow that happens. So that one's really interesting to me. And then a classic fan or sci-fi novel I've never read, not really classic, more of a modern classic, is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Never read this, love sci-fi. I don't really know what it's about. Ryland Grace, sole survivor on a desperate last chance mission, and if he fails, humanity and Earth itself will perish. Okay, high stakes, got it. So those are all of the non-fantasy books that I read. I'll start with the fantasy ones, the one that I actually went to the store for and kind of started this. But it is the second book in the Glacian trilogy. They didn't have it at Target, which I thought was really surprising. Maybe they just didn't have it at Target that I went to. But this is a sequel to Ledge, which I finished maybe last week or the week before. No, last week. But yeah, it's about a girl who basically is fighting against these creatures called the Glacians, and she's from the Ledge, and the Ledge are torn off from all over people. They can't get off, and they just basically, they think they're food for the Glacians. So it's the sequel to that, the second book in the trilogy, and I thought it was interesting enough, so I wanted to continue it. So I got the second book. Next is The Hurricane Wars. Now this is a new release, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. I saw it at Barnes and I thought about it for a few minutes. No, this is 2023. Interesting. I thought this was a new release, but maybe it's a new release at Barnes, but it has this really pretty sprayed edges. This is about all Taliesin has ever known as a hurricane wars. Growing up in a nation under siege by the ruthless Night Emperor, she found her family among the soldiers who fight for freedom. She's hiding a deadly secret. That's why I got this one. Okay, light magic, and Prince Alaric has night magic, and she has light magic. So that's like it's giving Shadow and Bone, which I really liked that trilogy. I know a lot of people are like meh about it, but I liked it. I thought it was very fun and entertaining. And I thought this sounded really, really similar. So I was like, let me try it. Let me see if it's very similar to Shadow and Bone or not. I don't know if it is a series. Okay. So that's good to know. There's another book after this. It looks like there are 2 books out. I'm not sure if it's only 2 books are out now or if there's another one coming or not. But the next book that I got at Barnes was Iron Widow. I've never really read anything like Asian inspired. I do have the Poppy War, but I haven't read that yet. So in Huaxia, which is definitely not how you say it, the highest honor for a young girl is to be selected as a concubine pilot. Okay, right. So this is about a girl who is supposed to be like a pilot with a guy, and then she gets like, the girl always gets sacrificed to the monster to like satisfy them so they don't like take out the rest of humanity or something like that. But she is like, nope, I'm not being sacrificed, you are. And then so she becomes like the first woman pilot that sacrifices men or something like that. I don't know if she's like against the sacrifice at all, but Iron Widow is the name of the book. I thought it seemed really good, and it was like kind of like a, you know, reverse female empowerment book. So I decided to go with it. Next I got the sequel to Shatter Me, which of course I haven't read the first one, but I did buy the second one. It's Unravel Me. I think I got this one from Book Outlet, which you can see it's like a little bit damaged, but I don't really care. Books are to be read and used. But this is a YA fantasy series dystopian, I believe. I haven't read the first one, so I can't tell you much about the book, but it is the sequel. I think there's like 9 of them or something like that. So yeah, got that. Speaking of YA, I've been seeing this book everywhere. This is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. And I also don't have a lot of books with people of color, including like Asian, but I don't have a lot of books from that perspective. And so obviously I want to not just read about white blonde girls, But so I got this one. It seemed like it was really interesting. It's about a mage, and then there's like a Merlin, and after her mother dies in an accident, 16-year-old Bree Matthews wants nothing to do with her family, memories, or childhood home. She starts at Bright High Schoolers at UNC Chapel Hill, but then she witnesses a magical attack. So a flying demon feeding on human energies. Oh, maybe she has magic. Okay, whatever. That seems interesting. I know people really, really like this series, and I believe the second one is out and the third one might be coming out later this year. So I wanted to start it. We'll see if I ever do, but you know. This was a pre-order. Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. I really loved the first Emily Wilde book. I do have the second one. I haven't been able to read it yet, but this was a pre-order. It came out on February 11th, and I am stoked to read it eventually. So we got that. Next is Petulance by Laura Thalasser. So I believe this is the Four Horsemen series. This is book number 1. I know Laura Thalasser. Thalassa is a very spicy fantasy writer. I don't really know much about it. Oh. Okay. I got this off of a book outlet, and there is this little card in there. What is this? Are you a good person, good enough to go to heaven? Meet Mr. Nice Guy. If good people go to heaven, he will be first in line. How about you? Place your thumb on the purple man the purple man at the right for 8 seconds. If you're a good person, the man will turn green. Interesting. Should we do it? Random card in the book. 8 seconds. He's probably, I don't know how this is going to turn green because it's just a card that's printed. Like, am I giving someone in China my fingerprint right now? He didn't turn green, so I'm not a good person apparently. Oh yeah, this is a God thing. Okay, sorry, you're just like the rest of us. The dictionary says good is to be morally excellent. Let's check the standard of the 10 Commandments. Okay, let's not. That was very interesting to find that in there. But anyway, this is a spicy fantasy novel with that in it. That's funny. I've heard some things about this author, so I wanted to try out this one. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't know if I will or not. And then also by the same author, I did grab Bewitched. Is there anything in this book? It is also from Book Outlet. No, Bewitched. I believe this is a duology, and the second one is out already. So if I decided to ever read it, oh yeah, Memnon. That's like the guy who everyone likes. Like book boyfriend wise. This is about a witch who wants to be in an academy, and she has to go on a quest through the wilderness. I don't know anything about this book, so let me know. Did you like it? I hear it's spicy. It's from Book Outlet and has the stupid Target sticker on it. I started to take it off, but then it got a little annoying, so I stopped. Okay. Switching gears a tiny bit. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books left. I know. Tress of the Emerald Sea. This is also from Book Outlet. So this is by Brandon Sanderson. I thought that this was a standalone YA fantasy, but I don't think it is. I think it might actually be a series. You guys let me know in the comments if you know. Wow. I love the art. That's nice. Is this like a limited edition copy? Huh. Ooh, there's a map. I love a map. Oh, no, it's not, but it is a very beautiful page. Wow. I'm excited to read this book just for the experience of reading the actual book. I like how the pages feel as well. Oh, wow, look at that. This is beautiful. Okay, this says, I started writing this in secret as a novel just for my wife. She urged me to share with the world and alongside 3 other secret novels. With the support of readers worldwide, it grew into the biggest Kickstarter campaign of all time. I'm excited to present this first book to you at last, a different type of Brandon Sanderson story, one I wrote when there were no time constraints, no expectations, and no limits on my imagination. Come be part of the magic. I think it is a standalone. I'm not sure, but I thought this is a very beautiful book, and I haven't even read anything by Brandon Sanderson, but I, for some reason, keep buying his stuff. So this will be the third Brandon Sanderson book that I have and have not read. Problems, I have them. Okay, next, Red Queen. This is one that's been on my radar for a while. This is a YA fantasy, and oh, this is giving Red Rising. So it's like the Reds destined to serve the Silver Elite, whose supernatural abilities make them gods. And then the girl in the main story discovers that she has magic, and it's a 5-book series. I'm excited to read this. From what I've heard, I feel like I will like it. So, Red Queen. Speaking of YA, I got the Stolen Heir duology. I have read all of what is the prequel? Oh my gosh. Oh, The Cruel Prince. So the Cruel Prince series. This is about Oak, who is like a young kid in that series, and I kind of miss like that cozy fantasy feeling, so I decided to grab these 2 books, the Stolen Heir duology. So there's a Stolen Heir and The Prisoner's Throne. They are YA fantasy, I believe, and I really enjoyed those books, so I wanted to continue reading this series. Yeah. And I think this is Oak's story. So he has a little duology. So I'm excited to read that. It's like a good like palate cleanser when I'm reading things like The Women, you know, which I'm reading right now, and I'm like, oi. Anyway, 3 more books. I got the sequel to Where the Library Hides. The first one is What the River Knows. This is by Isabella Banez. I don't know what it is called, like the duology is called, but this is the sequel to it, and copyright 2024. So this what came out last year. That's why it's in hardcover. I got this also off of Book Outlet. That's where I got the first one as well. So sequel to that. Have I read the first one? Nope. Is it on my priority shelf? Yes. Okay. 2 more books. Jade City by Fonda Lee. I think this is another Asian-inspired one. For centuries, honorable green bone warriors have used magical jade to enhance their abilities and defend the island of Kikon from foreign invasions. Now the war is over and a new generation vies for control of Kikon, maybe. Bustling capital city, 4 siblings of the powerful Kaul family must prepare for battle, and the fragile peace between the clans is about to break. So this is a series. Again, I've heard amazing things about this, so I decided to grab the first one. Why I am doing this to myself, I don't know. The next one is, thankfully, I believe, a standalone. I saw this book and was like, how stunning. First of all, I got this at Target. Like, very beautiful. I like that the edges are sprayed on the top as well as the sides. I bought this book. I picked this book up because it was beautiful. Like, are you kidding me? This is the map. I am stoked to read this. This is Babylonia, and this is like a Greek mythology book, I believe. So, Babylonia across the centuries has become the embodiment of lust, excess, and dissolute power. In this world, you had to kill to be king, or in the case of Samaris, an orphan raised on the outskirts of empire, queen. Nothing about her upbringing could have foretold her legacy, but when she meets a young representative of the new king, a prophecy unfolds before her, one that puts her in the center of a brutal world and the hearts of 2 men. Ooh, love triangle. I know some people don't like love triangle, but I do. Caught in the politics and viciousness of ancient Assyria, she trains in war and diplomacy. With each move, she rises in rank, etc., etc. This is a second book by this woman. The first one I thought about buying as well, but that was on Kindle Unlimited, so I decided not to get it. But I did put it on my list of things to download onto Kindle Unlimited. But I just thought this book was beautiful, like very well done, and it does seem like an interesting story to me, so I decided to grab it. Are you joking? How beautiful is this thing? Wow. I'm very excited to read this, and also to just enjoy having the book and looking at it and feeling it and reading it. Isn't that kind of like sometimes what it's about, right? This is stunning. So, oh, Clymenstria is the first one. And that one is also kind of like Greek mythology, I think. I like the mythology genre a lot. So, we got a lot of books. Probably too many. I've been filming for 20 or 30 minutes. I can't really tell. 20. Okay, not bad, not bad. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know which books on this list you want me to read first, and I'll try to make them a priority for my March TBR. And I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. Bye.